Can an inversion table actually decompress and help heal lower back pain? Let's break this down into 3 sub-questions. The first sub-question is, what part of the back are we actually going to decompress when you go and hang upside down? Well, here's the thing. In the spine, the main part that everybody focuses on is the disc, and for good reason, because you get herniations, it can pinch nerves, and there's surgeries to cut off parts of discectomy procedures. But there's also ligaments and joints and muscles in the area, nerves in the area that will also be tractioned or decompressed whenever you hang upside down. So it's not visualized here, but these are the joints. Let me put my finger between them. That's a spine joint on this side, and then you have another one on the other side. So you have these pairs of joints that go up and down the entire lower back, and that's where the movement occurs, the main movement. When you think of arthritis, that's where that happens. You can feel compression in that joint, and it can be painful. But then there's also a bit of freedom of movement within the disc, and this model is probably way more loose than what an actual disc would be in the spine. I've had cadaver dissections as part of my education multiple times, and so I've seen that they don't move this much. But you also have ligaments that fill this space here, and you have ligaments that fill this space here, and you have ligaments on the front right here, and you have ligaments within the spinal canal right here where the nerves run. So there are tons of ligaments in here that are also part of this traction process. So when you go upside down, what are you actually decompressing? And here's the thing is all of it. That's the answer. You're decompressing all of it. So you can't really target a specific tissue. You can't really target your disc, for instance. And you can't even really target a specific level of your spine. Most disc herniations will happen in the lowest part of the spine. So if you look at my skeleton here, here's a version of a disc here that's L5S1, because that's the L5 bone, and sacrum 1. And then L4, L5 disc is right here. They're labeled by what they're sandwiched between. These 2 discs right here are the ones that get herniated the most and can potentially pinch a nerve. It might be beneficial for you to try hanging upside down anyway and see if you get some relief, even though you don't know exactly what you're targeting. That would be my initial go-to advice if you're coming to ask me, should I try using an inversion table for healing my back pain? Give it a shot. We don't know if you're targeting right, though. It might or might not help. What we want to figure out, though, is what is helping you. So we have to ask the question of what's causing the pressure in your back to begin with. Because think about this. We all stand upright, and we all experience gravity more or less the same way. Why is it that you're getting an increased pressure in your back, but somebody else who doesn't have any back pain or back problems isn't? How come you have to deal with this problem and they don't? There's something going on, and it's not gravity, because gravity is pretty much a constant with all of us. There's something unique to your situation that's increasing that pressure through your back. And here's my strong belief. There's muscle imbalances, because muscles can affect directly pressures in the spine. And just to give you a simple explanation of how this works, let's look at my spine here. On the back, right here in the lower back, you have muscles that run up and down each side of the spine. You have columns of muscles. They're called the spinal erectors. There's individual muscles, but as a group, you have the right erectors and the left erectors. And then on the front, you have abdominals that fill the space from the front of the pelvis, the hip bones here, and they go up into the rib cage. They fill this whole space, and those abdominals in the front have the ability to fold you forward, which makes your spine bend forward. You can also control how you're going to the sides with your abdominals and your back muscles. It's the combined actions of both muscles that produce your spine motions. And in reality, if we think about the function of all these muscles and how they work together, it's not to bend you forward, it's to slow you down as you bend forward, because what's really giving you the most force bending forward is gravity. If you don't engage muscles, you just fall over. Gravity pulls you down. So it's really muscles that are working on your back to slow down your descent forward. Or if you're lying down on your back, then you need your abdominal muscles to pull you up against gravity. Otherwise, it's going to want to throw you back down. Gravity's going to want to pull you down if you're lying down. If your abs are too weak, which is often the case, and your back muscles have been compensating for weak abs because the group of all the muscles together aren't working right, then your back muscles are going to be too active and compress your spine. And you hanging upside down might temporarily take away some of the pressure, but you haven't fixed the imbalance. And when you go to move again, when you get up, when you're upright and you go do exercise, you do your daily activities, you take care of your body, you go to work, you take care of your loved ones, all that stuff, the way that you're moving your back and your abs, the way that your muscles are working together is such that you're compensated in your back, and that's constantly putting pressure through your spine, through your discs, through the nerves, through everything in the area. So the next question is, well, how do I fix this problem, this muscle imbalance problem, if that's really the root problem of my back pressure? Well, we've got to get stronger abdominal muscles. That is the number one thing. You have to figure out how to get your abdominal muscles to work when they need to have enough strength to do the jobs that they need to do to take you through the activities that you do on a daily basis, so that your back muscles aren't always taking over, aren't always having to compensate. That is the long-term solution to fixing your back problem, to taking pressure off your discs, your nerves, everything in there. In the short term, though, you might use an inversion table. You might hang upside down to get some temporary relief, but I just want you to know that it's not really fixing the muscle imbalance. Now, sure, you could do ab exercises on the inversion table. If you don't hang all the way upside down, you could, but if you hang at an angle, not all the way upside down, you could start to get your abs engaged. And there's specific ways to do this. I talk about this on my channel. In fact, I've got a back pain recovery program where I detail all this stuff and I walk people through the steps of how to fix a back problem like a disc herniation, sciatica, back arthritis, stenosis, and much more. But in a nutshell, you need to fix the imbalance. You can use upside down hanging, inversion table therapy, but it's only going to be short-term help. If you want more help with fixing the root problem so that you're not having to rely on an inversion table, check out this live video that I did. It's called the 10 Best Exercises to Avoid Surgery and Heal a Herniated Disc.